everybody, welcome to Mike's Garage. Well, I wanted to say thank you to the new subscribers and welcome to Mike's Garage. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Tonight we wanted to talk about electric vehicles. I wanted to take them on one at a time. Tonight we were looking around at electric vehicles to see if it was really worthwhile to buy one. Okay, so the first thing we looked at was the Chevy Bolt. That's B-O-L-T. It's been around for a while, and they just redesigned it and added some new features to it for 2023. They made it about 6 inches longer. Didn't really make it any wider or any higher. It's listed as a SUV, an electric SUV. It really isn't an SUV because it's a compact 4-door hatchback is really what it is. Okay, it's not. It has less than 6 inches clearance on the undercarriage, so that really doesn't qualify it to be an SUV. SUVs usually sit a little higher to do some off-road stuff if you want to park on somebody's lawn or something like that. Okay, so it has been redesigned for 2023. They did change a few little things. They're calling it a redesign. Okay, they upgraded the display. The 10-inch display is still the same. They added some more features to that. They put LED lighting on the turn signals and the running lights during the day. They added another camera in the rear, and they added 6 inches to the legroom in the back seat. Is why they made the vehicle longer. Okay, the vehicle is actually not a bad vehicle. It's an economy vehicle. It's not top of the line. It's they usually start out around $28,000. And so for $28,000, you can get the base vehicle. The top vehicle runs around $41,000, and that comes with all the bells and whistles, electric seats front and back, heated steering wheel, heated mirrors, map control, sunroof, automatic electric windows, automatic remote start. Now, here's what I mean. By remote start, there's a button on the key fob, and you push that button before you go get in the vehicle, and you have preset what you want the internal temperature of the vehicle to be, what you're setting as to your temperature. So if in the wintertime, if you had it 74 degrees, you hit the button, you go out there in a couple of minutes, and the interior of the car is 74 degrees. The electric seats come on, so you get into a nice warm car with a warm steering wheel and warm seats. If it's the summertime, you hit the button a couple of minutes before you go out, the air conditioner turns on, cools the interior of the car. It can put the windows down to ventilate. So when you go out and you get in the car, it's at a temperature which is comfortable for you. So the cabin temperature is something that you preset. So when you push that button on the remote, it automatically makes the interior to your comfort level. Okay, so and that's a pretty nice feature. You can't complain about that. Like I said, it's a front-wheel drive vehicle. Does not come four-wheel drive. There's no rear motor. It's a single motor vehicle. It has one motor that drives the front wheels, and it's a 200 horsepower electric motor. Develops around 200 horsepower, and it has about 250 pounds of torque, which means that as far as the speed of the vehicle, it'll go from 0 to 60 in about 7 seconds. Now, that's not really that fast for a small vehicle like this. If you want to get into a mid-size vehicle, a full-size Chevy or full-size Cadillac, full-size Oldsmobile, Ford, whatever, they all run around 6 seconds, 7 seconds, 0 to 60. So it's right in that range. And the reason this little car with 200 horsepower takes 7 seconds to get 0 to 60 is because the car and driver comes in around 4,000 pounds. Most of that weight is the battery. Now, as you can see, I'm going to put up a little diagram here behind me. The battery is just like the Tesla. That they have taken the Teslas apart. They have copied the design. The floor of the vehicle from front to back is the battery pack. It take out about 15, 20, 30 bolts and the battery drops down. There's 2 plug-in connectors for quick change or quick maintenance. They're even finding ways to fix the battery packs rather than tell you you have to replace them. So they're going to develop a way to recondition the batteries rather than have the problem of throwing them away, okay, and you have to buy a new one. So there is going to be a way to recondition the batteries and only replace the pieces of the battery, the cells that are bad, with new cells. So that'd be a lot cheaper, because that's scaring everybody away. What do you do with the old batteries, and how much is that going to cost? As far as acceleration, you can feel when you step down on the pedal from a dead stop, the car hesitates to give full power to the wheels because they don't want them to spin. They don't want you to spin the front tires when you go to take off. Now, as you get up to about 20, 25 miles an hour, then you get the full power to the wheels and you can feel the car pulling harder and harder to get you to 60. Now, if you're already going 20 to 25 miles an hour, 35 miles an hour, and you want to pass somebody, or you want to accelerate up a hill and you step down on the gas, it really does have a lot of pep. But the initial restrictions on the electric motor to keep it from going to full power to prevent you from spinning the front wheels is why it comes in about 7 seconds with 1 or 2 people in it to go 0 to 60. Which really, that isn't bad. That'll keep up with traffic. If you've been out in traffic, that's pretty much everybody's accelerating about that rate to do that with. Okay, the 4,000 pounds, like I say, most of that is the battery. The engine is in the front. It's because it's front wheel drive. Has a flat floor. Has a 2-level storage in the back. It has a trunk, and underneath of the trunk, there's another compartment. I really didn't see a spare tire anywhere. I'm not sure what they're going to do with the spare tires. Now, the rims are 17-inch rims with kind of narrow tires on them. And the only thing that I've heard about I've seen it too, is the drawback on the electric vehicles is they are so heavy that tires wear out. Now, if you get a standard car, my standard cars, I rotate the tires all the time. Every time I get the oil change, every 3,000 to 4,000 miles, you rotate the tires. You can usually get 35 to 45,000 miles out of a set of tires. So when the length of the vehicle, you keep the car for 100,000 miles, you're going to have to put new tires on it 3, maybe 4 times at the most, okay? The electric vehicles, the tires are lasting on the cars about 20,000 miles. And that's because they're so heavy. Like I say, this is a compact 4-door hatchback. It's not really an SUV, but it weighs 4,000 pounds. And it's kind of a narrow vehicle. It's great for commuting. If you're going to be in that vehicle by yourself and you're going to go back and forth to work with that vehicle, and that's all you're going to use it for, it's not a bad vehicle to look at. It does have an economy interior. There's a lot of plastic, a lot of vinyl, a lot of foam-filled areas that are padded. They're nice. You can upgrade it to a leather detailed interior with complementary stitching and things like that, with extra features, extra cup holders. But then you get up in the $40,000 range. The good thing about that is in 2023, they're coming out with another incentive package, a tax incentive package, where it's going to be about $7,500 on a car like the Chevy Bolt. Okay, so if you get the base model, $28,000, maybe you get a few of the frills on it, maybe you get up to $30,000. You get the $7,500 tax credit. Now you're paying under $25,000 for an all-electric SUV. It does have some nice features. It has a paddle on the steering wheel for autonomous braking. That means you don't have to step on a brake. You push the paddle further and further, or harder, as hard as you want, and the engine, the electric motor, turns into an electric generator, and it generates electricity to go back into the battery pack. So you can put full braking on that. It'll slow you down all the way to a full stop, and it will charge the battery while it's doing that. So if you're on a hill, going down a hill, and you want to try and slow down instead of stepping on a brake, you know how annoying that is when you're in a car and you're going down a long hill and you have to ride the brakes 2/3 of the way down. Well, you don't have to do that with this electric vehicle. The Chevy Bolt has a paddle that you can twist and put more and more pressure on it, and it will keep the vehicle slowed. It'll slow it down or keep it from getting any faster. You can control that, and all that energy is going back into the battery pack. So that's a very good feature. The other thing I liked about it is charging. Now you can go about 250 miles on a full charge on a Chevy Bolt. If you have to charge it, you can do it two different ways. It actually comes with a built-in charger, and it comes in with a cord where you can plug it into a regular household outlet, 110 volt outlet. It takes about 6 hours for it to charge to a full charge. So let's say you're driving 200 to 300 miles a week going back and forth to work. So once a week, you're going to have to put the car in the garage or put it somewhere where you can plug it in, and it will take about 6 hours overnight. It'll be fully charged in the morning, and you can use it for another 4 or 5 days without having to charge it. They do recommend with these battery packs that you run the battery pack down to less than 80%. So that means you have about 20% of your battery pack left, and then you charge it to charge it up to full charge. You shouldn't charge it every night. You're supposed to run the battery pack down to give it a full charge. So you can also go to one of those energy charging stations at the convenience stores or the mall stores, the big box stores. They have the EV charging stations out in the parking lot. You can also plug it in there. It takes about an hour and a half. So if that's your preference and you want to pay for it that way, you can go out, you can hook your vehicle up, you can go and do your shopping, take an hour, hour and a half if you're going to go to lunch or something like that. Come out and you'll have a full charge on the vehicle. So it's pretty convenient to do that. And I like that feature that you can do it yourself. You don't have to modify anything in your house. Some people are putting in 240 volt outlets like a dryer where you can plug in your own high voltage charging system. But this little trickle charger that comes with the vehicle with a cord is actually a pretty nice feature. So I know there's other videos out there where it goes into all the other details, but basically for the price and what you get for the price and how easy it is to maintain the vehicle and the charging, the ease of charging, you don't have to do anything special to your house. It's not a bad vehicle to look into. So I like the Chevy Bolt. I'm going to give it a thumbs up as one of the electric vehicles you have to look at. And I'll be looking at other electric vehicles to see how they stack up against this. I'll use the Chevy Bolt as a baseline. It's a long way from a Tesla. It doesn't have the features, the speed, the torque of a Tesla, but not everybody wants a very high-end electric vehicle. Okay, this is something that you can get for a daily driver. It may even pay for itself over 4 or 5 years for what you're going to save on gas versus running a trickle charger once a week. So I hope that was helpful. Give me a like if you like the video. Give me some comments. I'd love to hear your comments. I do try to answer all the comments, and I'll try to answer your questions back with another video. So give me a like, subscribe, please. I'm trying to get to 1,000. Break that into the 1,000 subscriber market. So that'll be a big help. Thanks for watching Mike's Garage, everybody. Have a good evening, and hope you enjoyed the pictures behind me. Thanks a lot.